Welcome back. When you board an airliner and see a female pilot or a flight officer of color in the cockpit, are you confident knowing that he or she was hired on merit, or concerned that they got the job solely based on gender or race? Well, last Friday, the Federal Aviation Administration addressed, quote, allegations of airlines hiring based on race and sex. The agency announced a new law prohibiting this. Air carriers that fail to comply can now face harsh consequences.
Chief Transportation Correspondent and pilot Maykay Beeler joining us this morning to explain. Maykay, good morning.
Good morning. So the new regulation aims to mark the end of diversity, equity, and inclusion, better known as DEI, in the cockpit. So airlines are to follow the new directive or face a federal investigation. So the FAA issued the new order to all airlines to make sure their pilot hiring is conducted on an exclusively merit-based basis. This is a result of an effort by the U.S. Department of Transportation to eliminate recruitment driven by DEI goals, arguing these have compromised the country's gold standard of aviation. So after taking office in January 2025, President Donald Trump issued sweeping orders to dismantle DEI programs in the U.S., arguing it was discriminatory ideology that compromised safety. And while the FAA has decommissioned its own DEI office, reports say many airlines continue to uphold diversity-related hiring policies. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy revealed the FAA's OpSpec A134, that's the name of the directive. It makes it a legal requirement for airlines to, quote, formally commit to merit-based hiring for pilots, end quote. Non-compliance may result in hefty fines, new hire freezes, or even loss of the airline's operating certificate. And according to a report by Reuters, there is no evidence that any U.S. airline is employing unqualified pilots. That's important to know.
Yeah, sure it is. So in this context, Maykay, what does merit-based, what does that mean?
So you'd be shocked how much training pilots have to go through. So merit-based means, according to the FAA, technical knowledge, cognitive skills, qualifications, piloting experience. And FAA Administrator Brian Bedford says that someone's race, sex, or creed has nothing to do with their ability to fly and land an aircraft safely.
All right, so what's the reaction from airlines?
Right, so there's a trade group, the Airlines for America, and it represents all the major airlines. And it approves of the directive, and it says, yeah, their members will indeed comply with the new federal directive and laws.
What about, okay, that's from the airlines. What about reaction from the pilot community?
So it depends on who you talk to. So the pilot community I am part of, being a white woman, now it's very important to note historically pilots have been white males. Being a white professional pilot, the community I am with, we believe that DEI is just really an opportunity to open the door for some folks that are underrepresented, who may come from backgrounds that they don't know they can be pilots. It's just to open the door to them. But they have to be qualified to even be considered to be hired, and then they must pass all the training, all the check rides, meet all the requirements, or they wash out. So the airplane, yeah, Captain Sully Sullenberger of Miracle on the Hudson told me this, and I couldn't agree more. The airplane doesn't care what color or gender the pilot is. All the plane cares about is the correct control inputs. So pilot candidates must pass all the required check rides and prove their ability as a competent and qualified candidate. And as a flight instructor and someone who's been through all the training, this is a fact. You cannot get through if you are not qualified.
Well, and as a pilot, that you mentioned that women pilots are a minority in the industry, but have you witnessed any sort of practices that open the door to other pilots like yourself?
There are opportunities. There's so few females, they're getting to be more and more. I just feel we've had to work harder to prove ourselves. I'm very disciplined. I want to be the best at what I do. Worked very hard to prove myself. Yeah. And as a flight instructor, I have trained lots of different people, and I have found that there are some folks who were given the advantage over others. So I have witnessed that, but not with the airlines hiring. I've been a flight instructor at a flight school, and we didn't discriminate. We didn't give extra credit to you because you were a female. We had to work just as hard.
And I think there's a lot of industries and careers like
Yeah.
that where you probably may have witnessed that, in a cubicle near you or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're right, it should be merit-based. So.
It should be, and it really has been.
It has been, yeah,
And
good.
if it hasn't been, I'm not saying it hasn't. I just haven't witnessed it. I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, May-Kay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.